Oh, hell yeah! WrestleMania Night 1 is in the books, and my God, it was a great night. We are here. I am at home, but we got Kev and Jose live from Cowboys Stadium. It is time for the WrestleMania Night 1 post show.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Oh,
wow.
Watch out. Watch
wow.
out.
What?
What did we
what
just
a night.
see, gentlemen?
We will be brief, everybody. If you're with us, you better be sharing the link or you stink. That was night 1 of WrestleMania. Absolutely incredible. Big headlines, the return of Cody Rhodes, a shocking finish in some of the matches, a celebrity who could go in the ring, and he really went, in Logan Paul, and the return of Stone Cold Steve Austin taking suplexes on cement.
Man, that was too good, man. I think tonight's main event, I think everybody left really happy, loud crowd. Dude, what did you think about all this, Jeremy, from your point of view?
What are the fans saying?
I want to know what the fans are saying.
My God, the fans overall very positive. I think outside of the first 2 matches, everything was about as good as it could be. It was perfect. A lot of people. We got to run in.
We got to run in.
What's going on, good people? How we doing?
We got to run in.
You were down at the other side of the press box here.
Yeah, I was.
Rick Cucino from Believe Pro Wrestling, SB Nation. Your thoughts? Stone Cold Steve Austin coming out of retirement, having a real match, not just a talking segment here.
Dude, like halfway through the match, it like hit me, right? Like I've never been in attendance at a Stone Cold Steve Austin match.
This is the first time I see Stone Cold in 22 years.
Yeah.
Like my parents did not like wrestling. So like I did not get to go to shows as a kid. So when like it just hit me like, oh my God, I'm watching Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestle. So that's the fan in me. Now the analyst in me goes, this was basically one giant beer ad for Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I loved every second of it. At 57 years old, hasn't wrestled in 19 years, he's taking a suplex on concrete. God bless you, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I am so happy for Kevin Owens.
Live shot here of AT&T Stadium. Superb job. I will say this. I know we're not kissing her up here. Superb stop by AT&T Stadium. This is an incredible facility. This is one of the best stadiums in the world.
Incredible crowd tonight.
Yeah.
On fire from the get-go. And look, I'll be honest. This was the night that I was worried about, right? You know, you come in, you don't know what's going on.
Usually night 1 is the night that you are worried about.
Right, but there's so many circumstances. You don't know if Cody Rhodes is going to be the guy, right? Charlotte and Ronda's been a little iffy coming in. You don't know what the main event segment's going to be. The first 3 matches, not a lot of people were excited about, but all of them over-delivered. Becky and Bianca was an absolute classic. That was the one thing I was genuinely looking forward to tonight.
Man.
Not everything was a home run, but there were no strikeouts. No. They killed it tonight. Night 2 has their work cut out for them.
Yeah,
absolutely. It'll be a hard act to follow. And obviously, the huge thing is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes.
This closes the night. Stone Cold called out a KO show. That's the way it was advertised. We were not told we were getting a match, but the word was we were going to get something physical.
It wasn't like
Austin's not had a full-fledged match in 19 years, but that delivered. At his age, for what he could do.
Yeah, and it wasn't a 3-minute squash match or anything like that. They went for a while. For a guy that has not wrestled in 19 years, they went all over the arena. Austin took some bumps, and it was some great back-and-forth wrestling. For a guy his age that hasn't done it in 19 years, hats off to Steve Austin because that was a tremendous performance.
Absolutely killed it. He absolutely killed it. I think Austin, for his age,
I had no idea what he said, but
and even like
Jeremy, he can't hear you. He doesn't have the earbuds in. Like he just whatever he said is good.
All good points. All good things. All good things. Loved it.
He's blind. He definitely agrees with you.
Awesome.
Describing it. Rick Cucino, check him out, Believe Pro Wrestling, and of course covering SmackDown with us every Friday night on Smack Talk right here on our feed as well.
I also got to talk to Becky Lynch this week, so check that out on the channel. Peace.
Right.
But yeah, the crowd was super responsive to Stone Cold in the promos right before the match. It was great. Man, it was a great night 1. I mean, this night 1 was better than last year's night 1. That women's match, both women's matches were really good. Like, they impressed the hell out of me. I wasn't, for me, the Charlotte and Ronda, I wasn't really invested in that storyline. But that match tonight, it really sold me, and I liked it.
It's another example of what Charlotte did before. Charlotte did this last year. When WWE got going on the road again, people were starting to sour on her. They were starting to say she's just Ric Flair's daughter again and all these different things. And she went out there and had that barn burner with Rhea when they had a cold build, but a hot payoff when they got on pay-per-view and gave that match. Charlotte is one of the best professional wrestlers in the world. She understands that timing when she's in there. The trade-off of the holds, that was something we were going to be sold on this match. It's something with submissions. That stuff was really, really over.
Yeah,
really
and
Jeremy,
I tell you what.
How'd that go over for the fans?
I tell you what, Charlotte and Ronda had to follow 2 complete bangers of a match back to back with Bianca and Becky. You thought that was going to be match of the night, and then Cody and Seth follow that up, and then Ronda and Charlotte had to follow that up with a build that wasn't as interesting. But in the end, they really did reel in the crowd. The crowd seemed to get into it, in my opinion. You guys were live there. Did it seem like that they kind of picked it up for you guys once they got to the end of the match?
Yeah, I would say that. Give you another great look here of everything going on here at AT&T Stadium. If you're with us for the first time, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Get us to 27,000.
We're already going for 27,000.
We are there.
28.
We're on the road to 30, boys.
If you haven't done so already, also my voice is a little hoarse from screaming.
Oh my God!
Why don't you also subscribe to us on Spotify? You want to listen to this? We have the audio up of all of our Vision shows. An exclusive interview up on that audio feed as well with Becky Lynch, the man who had a hell of a performance. This was something special.
That's a fun video. So make sure y'all check it out.
Very Los Lotharios were fun with us.
That was a very fun one. Yeah.
It was.
And your voice is getting hoarse, bro.
It's getting bad.
What?
This is my real voice now.
What?
This is what I'm gonna sound like for the rest of my life.
What?
Yeah. So one of the matches that got cut tonight was the tag team match with Sheamus and Ridge Holland versus the New Day. That got cut. I'm not sure if that's going to be on for tomorrow at the kickoff show, but that got cut off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, an unfortunate thing. You also had. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Sheamus posted a scissors emoji, kind of just basically saying that they got cut. No confirmation yet, but it is very frustrating. I'm just going to say this real quick. It is very frustrating when you have a damn 2-hour kickoff show with not a single match and you're cutting matches from the WrestleMania card. I think that is just frustrating as hell.
Frustrating, but I mean, this is a big show. Stuff happens. There's big things you got to do. People go long. I think it's a part of doing this game. It's not an easy thing to tell people you're not going to be on the biggest show of the year. You hope those guys find a role in tomorrow night's show. Does a triple threat tag team match become a 5-way tag team match? You don't even have enough
Why not?
apron.
Why not?
Why not?
Might as well.
Might as well.
Everybody in the chat
in there too, if we're just going to get crazy.
Thanks to everybody in the chat here, all 250 of you. Give us a thumbs up, a reaction. Give us something, what you feel about it. Also in the chat, give us your score out of 1 to 10. How would you rate WrestleMania Night 1? The 3 of us will give you a score at the end, but put it in the chat. We already got one right here. Nisha Dali giving it a 9 out of 10. Again, we'll give our scores
I'll tell you. It was a damn good show, but let me tell you, let's talk about Logan Paul. Logan Paul, man, absolutely, dude, he blew me away.
Yeah,
his frog splash and his shimmy like anything to the T, man. That guy impressed me. He did a really good heel work tonight. Dude, you were impressed. You have to be impressed.
I actually did watch that in the press box. I watched that down.
You were down there, right?
I was in the 100 section right up the floor. And you could tell from fans, they wanted to boo him. They wanted to hate him. He had nuclear heat walking through. He's in there with the right guy, The Miz. They didn't have him do anything he couldn't do. And the things he did very, very well.
Impressed the hell out of me, man.
He had timing. I noticed he had some real timing as the earbuds fall here. He had timing.
Kev.
He took a pause.
Hey, Kev, can you give me a James Espanto real quick here?
I got to be quiet about it. I can't be too loud because I don't want to disrupt other people. Mr. James Espanto.
Perfect. How James in the chat here, a regular viewer to our top story. Appreciate you, James. How bad is the Boogs injury? I don't know if you guys knew at all. Michael Cole did say on air, torn quad pulled from the patella tendon. So Boogs is going to have surgery in the next couple of days. Probably going to be out for some time, unfortunately.
Yeah, Nakamura taking the finish there. A solid opener besides the
Yeah.
injury, which is unfortunate. That's a part of it.
Yeah,
And a
they
great
had to
spot
go.
for Nakamura. I know
They
people
had
were talking
to.
about-
Yeah, they had to hurry up and go home with. They had to hurry up and go home after the Boogs injury, so it was a rush finish there, unfortunately.
What do you also think? We were not off the topic of Logan Paul here. Logan Paul and The Miz win. Back and forth action, well paced. Mysterios look fantastic. Rey Mysterio reminds you he's Rey Mysterio, right?
And then Dom dressed in Eddie Guerrero's outfit from the '90s.
Yeah,
wearing that, the USA outfit.
Yeah,
it was nice homage to Eddie Guerrero tonight.
So the ending is they win. The bad guys win. Miz and Logan Paul win.
But Miz turns on Logan Paul.
So where does this go?
I don't know.
I turned to people in the section.
So
They're
we're gonna
yelling.
get this match. I want this match to be for that rare Pokemon card. You saw that rare Pokemon card he had on his necklace?
It's like multi-million-dollars. That's how much that thing's worth. That thing's worth a few $1,000,000.
That's crazy. That's insane that a playing card is worth millions of dollars.
It's a one of one. It's a
NFT.
It's a an
NFT of the match that we just did on the blockchain.
And it's so funny because
speaking of blockchain,
it's so funny because Miz doing that almost made him a babyface because it got a big pop. So, I don't know. It's interesting, but yes, Logan Paul was tremendous tonight, guys.
This was a great match. We're going to get more. There were people in my section yelling, "Oh, they're going to Saudi with this. They're going for that big money check overseas."
You think so?
Yeah. You got a big celebrity overseas. They haven't gone in that direction. He's a name that is internationally known. People know Logan Paul all over the world. That was a lot better than I think a lot of people were going to give it. But Logan Paul look $1 million. This guy's been boxing. Why box when you can do this? And do what you do where you're really a personality.
But he's so naturally gifted, though. Like, I don't think anybody that was watching that match was expecting Logan Paul to look that good and to come up to come across that good.
And there's nothing they had him do that he couldn't pull off.
No.
They protected him and they made him look right, and it was a tag team match. It was the right way to go. Now the real test is a singles match.
We'll probably get that versus the Miz. So.
Yeah, you got Ben in the chat. Maybe this could be your SummerSlam match, Miz and Logan. You might maybe save that for SummerSlam, possibly.
If WWE's going to rely on celebrities for these big chestnut, pay-per-views that are quarterly, he's a guy that's going to draw. Real heat. I'm not saying and the thing is, I don't want to say it. But it is true.
Let's book it right now. Logan Paul, Bad Bunny at WrestleMania next year.
Hey, that'll be tremendous.
Let's book it.
Let's get into it. We have limited time in the press box here.
Yeah, next up,
so accommodating to us.
Next up, we of course the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair.
How
about that? How about that entrance for Bianca with the band playing and
both entrances. Both entrances
were good. Yeah,
Becky's was great because it's like the WWE opening, but with big time, and then you have the drum line coming out with Bianca. But it was just so good. Both entrances were great. Great storytelling tonight, and the right woman won.
Real finesse. They had a lot of time. Well over what over 12 minutes or so like that.
They went 19. They went 19.
Shout out to Jake and Ader 72. Night 2 isn't necessary. Great show tonight. Thank you for the support. You guys can also support the channel for free by hitting the like and sharing the link. If you have wrestling buddies and you think we're good, or you don't want to watch other podcasts, you like ours, blah blah blah, just share the link. Just do the internet. So I love this. I thought this was good. Right person won.
I did. 100%.
Yeah, right person won.
Now pop for her too.
Yeah, and it was a big pop for her as well. Crowd was behind her. Becky Lynch, I think they come into her form as a heel, but this does give her the opening to kind of.
And it doesn't matter what she ends up doing. Yeah, it doesn't matter what she ends up doing. If she wants to be a heel or a babyface, she's still over. It doesn't matter. The crowd loves her.
Yeah, I know people were complaining about the build to WrestleMania in general. But and I'm saying this being in here in a room full of people that are super in tune with the business from all the different aspects, from the diehards to the casuals to the people that only watch WrestleMania. When the lights came on here, everybody in that ring, every guy and the gal in the ring really delivered. The production was fluid and great. And you can't just do WrestleMania. You got to give them something they were going to tease and pay off. Let's talk about that big tease. Let's talk about that big payoff. The tension in this building that had 77,000 plus people in it. I know it's not as much as they had before, but this place was full.
It was loud.
And the question they all wanted to know is the question I asked Becky Lynch. Who is Seth Rollins? He came out there and nearly burned a choir on fire, or pyro right around the choir. What an entrance, right?
Yes.
And he gets in the ring, and we're waiting. The tension was palpable.
Yeah.
And then you heard the Cody chants, and it was rousing. We have the clip. It's up on our Instagram.
They strung it out.
See it from this angle up here.
That shot.
And then the realest, biggest shot. I think nearly as big as putting NXT on Wednesday night. The WWE has directed towards Jacksonville, Florida. All Elite Wrestling was hearing there's more than one family.
Oh.
And the production, the entrance, Cody Rhodes back in WWE. And also not a squash match. This was
a really good match too, man.
It was a Tokyo Dome match with cheeses and finishes and going in and out of the ring and up and downs and nearly doing, you're going to get a pedigree, we're going to turn it into a powerbomb. We did all these different things. Seth and him had a phenomenal match. Shout out to Jeremy Lambert, Fightful, who put out a very poignant tweet. Cody's last match was in front of 5,000 people.
And now
his next match is in front of 75,000 people. This was, you saw the internet reaction. We knew people were going to get this. This was and next to Stone Cold is the most talked about thing.
I think so. I think this is probably one of the most viral things that we're going to see over the next 24, 48 hours when it comes to the internet. But just from a production standpoint, how they prepared Cody to come back, amazing. From the graphic on the TV to the presentation of him coming up from the stage
to getting the song,
to walking down, to nodding to his father, doing things inside the ring during the match.
The little touches. He did the punches and the elbow.
The Stardust, the
Stardust pose. Yeah.
From old to now, the entire thing was just very well done. And I got to give kudos to WWE for that because they pulled it off.
I know everyone's saying, rah, 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 WWE here. But here's the thing. We can bitch about it every week, what they don't give us. But this is the biggest show of the year. You got big surprises. You got big moments. No one dropped the ball when they had to run it past the 1 yard line here, And everything that was built up to was paid off, And then there were a couple surprises, too.
Was it the biggest pop of the night?
Over Ronda was a surprise.
Was it the biggest pop of the night? Was Cody? Was Cody the biggest pop?
Stone Cold
was definitely the biggest pop tonight. I mean, during that promo, the way when he came in, when he won, I mean, there was definitely loudest pop. There was definitely a really loud reaction for Cody, but Stone Cold definitely won the loudest pop of the night.
Yeah, I mean, you had a lot of people that were rushing to the merch stands to get Cody merch. They were rushing to get them.
And he's already got 4 T-shirts out, guys.
4?
Interesting comments from
4 T-shirts already out.
Yeah, he's in a new T-shirt company. He's working for a new
T-shirt company. I'll see if I can pull it up and share the screen.
He'll pull it up. He's got this in front of me. Nice comments from Cody as well on social media, doing an interview with WWE social media saying he is not just back in WWE. They chanted back, welcome home. He said, no, I'm back. Let's play the game.
Yeah.
Which was an interesting thing. And,
there were some great tweets.
To his father as well, and his father's legacy here in Texas. I'm sorry, we have like a little bit of a delay here with you, Jeremy. It's getting busy, but Jeremy, you're running the roost here. Thank you so much for this, buddy.
It was a lot of people reacting on Twitter. Amanda Huber, Judd Huber, or Brody Lee's late wife, with tears emojis for Cody. That was so great. That was nice. That was great of her to do that, and just a lot of people from all angles of the wrestling world reacting to it positively and happy for Cody. And it truly was a great moment. And I did not think anything could top Bianca and Becky, but I thought Seth and Cody was the match of the night.
You think that was the match of the night? I mean, moment of the night is Stone Cold saying, I'm indeed having a match. And people were popping, but that pop when he got up and he took that pause and he waited and he said, you want a match? Oh, hell, they want a match? Let's get a referee out here. And like that pop and the bell, when the bell rang. I mean, the match wasn't great.
14-minute match.
It doesn't need to be. It's just great because Stone Cold's having it. He took a bump on concrete. Like he did everything you wanted to do. He did real stuff. He did more physically than he's done in a long, long time. We're going to look at these T-shirts. They do look very,
Austin almost went 15 minutes tonight.
15 minutes. Online, what do you think people didn't like tonight? What was the match they didn't like? I heard some people getting down on Drew McIntyre and Happy Corbin. I thought that match was good.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
And
Oh, Drew and Happy were good. I thought it was a good match. Just the tag match was the worst because they had to go home so quickly with the Boogs injury. They had to change the finish. So I think Boogs and Nakamura.
That's really that's no rep on the performance. That's just part of
I
the
think
game.
they were supposed to win the match. I think Boogs and Nakamura were supposed to win the match. I think they changed it on the fly, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we were hearing some of that down the pipeline here that was supposed to have a different finish.
Connor Casey, how you doing? Connor Casey, you want to pop in here for a second? I know you won't be able to hear me. Connor Casey, comicbook.com.
Connor Casey from comicbook.com.
Connor Casey, what's the word in the street here? Cody coming back. That's the story of the night. Stone Cold. What's the biggest story? You're going to be covering. What's the biggest story out of night one?
I think biggest story's got to be Steve Austin. I didn't think that was possible for him to come back for a match like that. Putting on a good, what was that, 10, 15 minutes?
We're told 15 minutes for people watching at home.
We saw bumps on concrete. We saw him getting knocked on tables. Like, that was, I never imagined in my wildest dreams we see something like that again.
That was great.
To get that back even for one more night, 19 years after the last time it happened, that's got to be the biggest story.
What's the word on the street on Cody Rhodes coming back? That's a shocking move. Maybe the biggest move that WWE's made in this back and forth with AEW, right?
Absolutely. Shocking is, I don't know if that's the word to go, because we kind of had a feeling this was happening. That was the big rumor. But the presentation, the fact that the logo was there, the music was there, the nickname was there, every piece of the presentation from AEW was still intact.
It's like seeing NWO on WWE television.
1,000%. I think that sent the biggest message it possibly could have to the guys that they're looking over at AEW and saying, hey, we want you guys, when those contracts get up, the Jade Cargills, the MJFs, the Wardlows of the world, the fact that we keep hearing those names and then we see something like that, you know those guys are watching tonight and they pay attention to something like that.
Of course, everyone wants to check out what you're doing. We'll plug you on our platform. What's going on?
Well, I'm over at comicbook.com. You can follow me on Twitter at ConnorCaseyCB. Got that blue check mark. Trying to get to 2,000 followers.
Help out. 2,000 ain't right? Connor, you're better than 2,000. Let's get you above
it happens, man, but I appreciate that. You can always find my stuff over there, comicbook.com. I'm usually helping out with the wrestling. I do a little bit of video game reviews, comic book reviews. I'm also always on the Comic Book Nation podcast whenever big wrestling shows are coming out. You find it over on Twitch and now on Paramount Plus.
Oh, there you go. Paramount Plus on a streaming service. Okay. We're growing up here. Connor, thank you so much, buddy. You have to play.
Thanks a lot, Connor.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
So many other media people here. We have media from all over the world. There's media from over, a dozen different countries here, and all the dirt sheets too. That's pretty sweet. This is a big week for us as well at Sportskeeda. We want to shout out everybody. We want to shout out Raju. We want to shout out Aranava. We want to shout out Roni.
The entire team.
We want to shout out Jagal and Tejas and our wonderful video editor, Cybercheck. A lot of people converting everything we're doing on a very fast basis in the toughest conditions we can, but also with the biggest expectations. Most of all, I want to thank you, the fans. This is a big week. This is the week when the people who make fun of you for wrestling ask you what's going on.
I said this earlier to Kevin. Yeah. Right now, this first quarter of 2022, it is the greatest time to be a professional wrestling fan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the greatest time. There's no other time besides the 90s and early 2000s. Right now is the best time to get.
Let me just run down the week for you. All right, last night, Supercard of Honor. FTR and the Briscoes, one of the best matches of the year. Samoa Joe showing up. Okay, so you got that last night. Tonight, WrestleMania, tremendous. Tomorrow, WrestleMania. You got the Raw after, which is going to actually have surprises this year. You're going to have Samoa Joe on Dynamite on Wednesday as well. The whole week. I mean, the time to be a wrestling fan is tremendous right now, but this week alone, man, is just mind-blowing. And the job that a lot of the guys did on the indies, working their ass off, sometimes multiple matches in a day. Like the Briscoes, they just came off of a match of the year with FTR and worked Impact Wrestling against the Good Brothers around midnight last night. So, kudos to everybody that performed this weekend and is, busting their ass for us fans. And it is truly a great time to be in the world of professional wrestling. We have about 5 minutes left. Let's close the show with the last match, the final match, KO Mania. Just our overall thoughts on that. For the first time in 19 years, Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestles a WWE match.
this, like we were going to say, this didn't need to be. It needed to be a little bit more of a victory lap with physicality, and we got that. And also, I think you guys wanted Steve that any of us were expecting. He didn't do anything that would make him.
He had a slow start, though. He had a little bit of a slow start.
Saw the pace pick up.
But after about 5 or 6 minutes, he really got into his groove. You could tell he was loose. His adrenaline was taking over. Dude, but Stone Cold took that stunner from Owens like a champ. And Owens also took that stunner from Stone Cold like a champ. It was great. I think this entire, I'm never going to forget this match.
Yeah, did it have the most miraculous build? It didn't need to. It's simple.
It doesn't.
It's Stone Cold and Texas, you know?
And KO. I mean, KO's so good.
His very first professional match was
promo in the ring and then the match right away.
Yeah, his very first professional match was in Dallas, and now his very last professional match is in Dallas, Texas.
I want to know, people saying your audio sucks. We're trying our best.
We're trying our very best here.
I can hear Jose. I can hear Jose pretty good, but I can't.
Can you hear us?
Kev.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you, but but not Kev. I don't know.
All
why.
right.
Okay, what about now? Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Now?
Yep. Good. Yep.
Better?
Yep. That's
Better?
good.
Okay. All right. It's a direct.
Yeah. I think you were kind of fading out a little bit there. So.
I didn't mean to do that. This was good. Kevin Owens bumped his ass off for him, you know, and what else did it need to be? And Steve took some real physicality. It didn't need to be the match of the year. We already had the better matches on the show. You know what I mean? It didn't need to be anything else. The ratings, let's get to it. The 1 to 10, the nitty gritty, the surface level stuff. I'm giving the show in terms of satisfaction. This is a 9 out of 10. This is one of the most satisfaction, fan service driven shows that WWE's done since the pandemic, you know, and this is the show as good as that Money in the Bank, the first one they got to do in the summer. This is good. This reminds you WWE can do it at a bigger level than anyone else can in terms of market and scale and production, and this is where stars want to be superstars.
I'm going to give this a 9.5, man. The fact that we got Stone Cold Steve Austin in a match with Kevin Owens, two of my favorites of all time right now, in the closing, in the main event of night one, tremendous. I think that was great. We had all the matches were good. For the exception, there was some few that had some exceptions, but I think 9.5 for the simple fact that we had new title changes with Becky and Bianca, and we got to close out the show with Stone Cold and KO, and we got Cody Rhodes debuting tonight. Dude, if you are not happy or content with tonight's show, I really don't know what's going to make you happy. I really don't, because they threw everything against the wall for you guys. There is so much fan service tonight. And if you still find a way to bitch and complain about WWE, there's something seriously wrong with you.
You spent your Saturday night getting ready to bitch.
You live a bitter life.
You're 1 to 10.
My immediate reaction, and then after thinking about it, both came out the same, and it is a 9 out of 10 for me as well. The first match was about the only thing that was subpar. I thought Happy and Drew was good. It was probably a Raw level match, but then everything after those first two matches were WrestleMania worthy, and they were tremendous. I did not expect the Mysterios, Miz, and Logan to be such a great tag match, and it blew my expectations out of the water. Obviously, Becky and Bianca was match of the night until Cody and Seth fought each other, and that was my match of the night. Charlotte and Ronda, though the build was not great in my opinion, they put on a hell of a match, a great finish. And let's go back to Drew. First time anyone has ever kicked out of Into Days, by the way. Which is amazing. And of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, I am 42 years old. I was just graduating high school when the Attitude Era started. And so I saw Steve Austin as stunning Steve Austin because I watched NWA back then. And then, of course, the Attitude Era hit, and you saw the rise of Stone Cold. And, you know, you think about the trilogies that he had with The Rock at WrestleMania. And to go 19 years after that third match with The Rock at 19, to go that long and give us 15 minutes and work your ass off for a guy his age and upper 50s. And props to Kevin Owens for everything he did in this too. it was a special moment that is going to live on forever, and people are going to talk about it until the end of time, because it was just
what a way to go out.
Yeah.
What a way to really end it. You know?
Yeah.
It
was
doesn't
amazing.
have to be a fantastic match. It has to be a match that shows you're done and you can do a little bit on the way out. And that's it. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You know, nothing about Stone Cold was ever complicated to begin with. It wasn't a technical wonderment, his matches. It was his attitude and his mentality and his endurance. And all that.
Kicking ass, stumping mud holes in people's asses.
Yeah, there we go. Stomping mud holes. Why don't you stomp a mud hole in that like button right now? Look at that.
What?
Look at that transition.
What?
We'll be back for night 2.
Yep.
We'll be back with a whole bunch of content. If you need even more, there is a lot that's going to be popping up right now on our video channels, on Facebook, on Instagram, on all of them, wherever you are. All right. We want you to do something though. If you are watching for the first time, get into that conversation with us every single day, Monday through Friday. We're doing the top story at 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. On Monday nights, we have Vince Russo, bro. After Monday Night Raw. All right, we have tons of content. Friday night, Dutch Mantel, Dirty D himself, after SmackDown and Rampage, plus the Bro Show on Thursdays as well with DDP and Vince Russo. Tons of content every single week, plus exclusive interviews. This week we talked to Becky Lynch, we talked to Los Lostarios, we talked to
Austin Theory, we talked to
Theory.
Braun Breaker, we talked to a bunch of people.
A bunch of people. Some of those are still going to be popping up over the weekend, so make sure those notifications are on. I don't turn my notifications on. I don't want a bunch of notifications. Just turn them on for us.
Just for us. You're gonna want to watch the Sami Zayn interview that this guy did.
Oh boy, Sami has a lot to say.
Yeah.
Sami has a lot to say about being an artist in a corporation. Let me just leave it at that. That's a little bit of a tease. And if you don't, WWE is too corporate. He has some compelling things to say about that. And that is coming up within the next 24 hours on our channels. Keep an eye out for it. Jeremy, you're not a buzzkill tonight. I'm surprised.
Nope. No, I'm happy. Before we wrap things up here for tonight and come back at you 24 hours from now, looking at tomorrow, what are you guys looking forward to the most?
I think the unification title bout definitely is going to be one to look at.
That's the draw.
But tomorrow is going to be, they're going to have to do something really big.
Oh,
because tonight
Yeah.
they set the bar up here.
Yeah.
They set the bar up here.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
They're going to have to pull something out of their asses to make it better than today.
I don't know if it's been officially announced, but Wikipedia does have New Day, Sheamus, and Ridge tomorrow. So I don't know if that was officially announced.
That's
but
Wikipedia. We'll see. We asked for some news about it, but we said that there's no news to confirm at the time. So
yeah,
but,
so
it was a
we'll have to
pleasant.
look in-
It was a pleasant wait and see.
I think obviously
tomorrow, for me, it's AJ. It's AJ and Edge.
Yes.
It's AJ and Edge. That's a dream match. The interview with AJ is up now on our channel, and AJ had a lot to say about the pressure of being AJ Styles. Like, you and I, we saw it with him.
Yeah.
He seemed to really have the sense of, at my age, that people have this expectation of me in these matches at this time. He said, I've had 7 WrestleMania moments. And those moments were me having great matches, not coming out and doing an angle or these.
And the thing that everybody expects him to have all these great matches on this big platform, right? Yeah. So it's I don't know, man.
It's not another night. It's not just another match. It's a WrestleMania match.
Exactly.
You know? And it was interesting for him to open up the vulnerability of that, and not say like, yeah, I know I want to do that, and I expect to do that. But can we keep doing it? How do you keep that up? So that interview is up now, well worth checking out, and I think that's the match for me. That's the big draw for me.
I'm looking forward to seeing and watching Pat McAfee and Austin Theory. That's gonna be fun.
Pat McAfee is gonna get a monster reaction.
You know what he's gonna do
now when he comes out?
You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna beat Austin Theory down.
He's gonna beat that punk bitch.
He was over.
He was.
Big time.
He was. We gotta get out of here, guys.
We're out.
All right. Hey, lead us away. Lead us away, guys. Come on.
Oh, all right. As we pull away, looking here at the WWE crew, deassembling what is one of the biggest wrestling events human beings on this little blue ball, planet Earth, can say. We ask you to clear your mind. Don't bitch.
Yeah.
Don't complain.
What?
Be a little kid again.
What?
Or be a teenager drinking beer. They're not supposed to drink beer. Don't do that, kids.
What?
Do one thing. Say, oh, hell yeah,
And
what?
enjoy wrestling.